Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And tonight I will continue my adventures in the Keldor sector Star Wars campaign, now powered by Starships and Blasters, my hack of Delves and Dangers by Mage Hammer. It is a D6 pool-based or dice pool-based game, and it is rules, light, and cinematic. And you can get this for free in my community tab. And this is what we will be using. And we rejoin our intrepid heroes, Nash Duncan, Scoundrel, Smuggler, and Flyer for Hire, and the mysterious Rhya, Eldridian Shadow Huntress. And those longtime viewers, you can see I changed up her picture or her image a little. So I think this looks pretty cool. So there she has her ignited force blade. However, of course, she's not always wielding it ignited, obviously, but you can see her body armor and her cloak. And yeah, I think this looks really neat. All right, so, and we are in Calcareous Prime, and we just hired a mechanic to soup up our starship. The old versatile Rust Bucket, an old Corellian Engineering YR1080 late freighter, a predecessor to the famous YT series of space transports. And at the moment it is pretty slow. It's got a hyperdrive multiplier of 2.5, but we made a deal, 11,000 credits to boost this to 1.5. However, for the personality of this mechanic, I rolled deceitful, so I determined that this technician will try to sell us a worn and unreliable part that has a chance of breaking down every journey. And we will see if I will be able to spot that in the installation process. So I also asked around for a smuggling mission, and I was successful. And so I already wrote down here what the mission is, but I realized I haven't really role played it out, and I think this is fun for flavor. So we got some time, so it's 10:30, and the technician, he will be in our docking bay. And the technician is a variant human with bluish skin and balded head, so no hair. And so we got some time. So I was asking around a little, using my knowledge as a smuggler, my streetwise knowledge, to ask the right people the right questions. And I am pointed towards a street side cafe, and I was asked to talk to a guy called Slim. And this Slim guy was described. So I got the name and the address of this street cafe. It's not far, and the guy is an older guy, gray beard, frail, thin body, worn street clothes, and this is the guy I was supposed to go look, find, talk to, whatever. So let's get this a little bit further down. Let's check the camera. I think it looks good. So yeah, so I follow the instructions to this street side cafe, and indeed there is a man sitting at a table all by himself who fits the description. So as we approach or walk towards this street side cafe, it's still a little ways off, or a couple of meters away. I turn to Rhya and I go, Rhya, I think it would be best if I approach him alone and we separate, and you stay in the area nearby, so that you got me and the cafe in view. So in case anything goes wrong, I would have you as a surprise up my sleeve, basically. And she goes, of course, but after all we've been through, I think you should be able to handle this guy. But I will, of course, have your back. And I go, I never doubted it. So we split up. She hides someplace nearby. As I walk towards the cafe and I approach this guy and I go, excuse me, you're Slim? And this guy looks up to me and goes, who wants to know? Who are you? Well, word on the street is you are in the market for a discreet and reliable pilot. Time-sensitive delivery, no questions asked. Well, I'm here. I'm your guy. Are you, huh? So, who told you that? And I tell him who told me. Ah, yeah, all right. Yeah, so if he thinks you're all right, you maybe are all right. Sit down and buy me a drink and we can talk business. Of course, I'll just add it to my tab. I'm just joking, of course. What'll it be? It's on me. So I order drinks and he goes, well, I need a pilot to transport 2 units of old Clone Wars era B1 battle droids. B1 battle droids from the Clone Wars era. Are these things still functional? Yeah, they're still functional and they can still be nasty. So, it'll be 7 units of old Clone Wars era B1 battle droids. And your buyer or your contact is a Twi'lek female called Toola. And she'll pick up the goods, the merchandise, and she'll pay you 1,000 credits per unit. So that's a total of 7,000 credits. I was just in my mind already thinking what Nash would say. So he, of course, wants to ask for more. So I go, 7,000, huh? For B1 battle droids. Well, trading in these is highly restricted. Of course it is. This is why we are talking. What do you think, I am stupid? So what is it? You want more money? Spit it out. Well, looks like you can read my thoughts. 7,000 is difficult to calculate. Why don't we make it 10? Why don't I wait until someone else comes along? Well, of course you could do that, but I'm looking around. There's not really a queue here, if you get my meaning. Come on. Then make it at least 8. It can be divided evenly by 2. I got a first mate and gunner that I also need to pay. 8,000, huh? Alright, so let's make a persuasion roll. I got cunning 4 dice, and I got a proficiency bonus +1. I got the persuasion skill, and I think it is a moderate roll, target number 3, because it's only 1,000 more, and now I can look it up here. Haha, target number 3. Yeah, moderate roll. So let's roll it. Persuasion with cunning. Ugh. Okay, but those are failures, but I got 1 exploding die. So I still got a chance. I need a roll of success now. 2 doesn't count. Only 2. So he goes, Listen, buddy, this is the first time you and I interact. So it'll be 7,000, take it or leave it. And if everything goes well, I'll gladly exchange com codes with you. And whenever I got a new job coming up, I might give you a call. Yeah, all right. Sounds fine with me. So what's the deal? The usual, half in advance and half on delivery? No, you get 2,000 now plus 5 when you deliver the cargo. 7, huh? Like you said. Okay. All right, so where do I find this Toola? Where do I have to transport these goods to? Have you ever heard about the Den? No, what's the Den? It's a traveling shadowport, and it's in this sector. I'll give you the coordinates. You'll meet my contact, Toola, in a couple of days at the Den. See that you get there fast, as long as these coordinates are accurate. And with these coordinates, you also get the com code of your contact, Toola. Just give her a call a couple of days from now. I say make it 2, and then she'll get in touch. But make sure you get to the Den quick. Yeah, well, how long are these coordinates accurate? I don't know, 2-3 days? Yeah, because I get my hyperdrive souped up. Probably takes a while, so I think I will be able to leave late tonight or very early tomorrow morning. Yeah, whatever. But where can I load the robots, the cargo, the droids? Yeah, this is my docking bay. I give him my bay number. So I gotta head there now because the technician, he will come at noon. But I'll be in my docking bay the entire time. So you can deliver the goods. I think they're probably in some sort of crates or anything, huh? Yeah, I got some people that will deliver the goods. Yeah, and don't forget the 2,000. No, I won't. All right, it's settled then. I'll be in touch. They will be at your docking bay. All right, looking forward to doing business with you. Yeah, we'll see about that. And then I head back to the docking bay. Rhya, she observed the entire thing, so when we are back together, she goes, and? Well, this sounds interesting. We gotta transport a load of old B1 Clone Wars era battle droids, 7 units. But now comes the interesting part. We will meet our contact, a Twi'lek female called Toola, in a place called the Den. It is a traveling shadowport. So she goes, well, what's a shadowport? Yeah, a shadowport, those are off the record starports, usually on desolate planets, the usual, mostly not on any star charts. You get the location by mouth to mouth and propaganda or messaging and through contacts. And they're under or off the grid of the authorities, hopefully. But I've never heard of a traveling one. So probably like a large space station or something. I got coordinates where this Den is located in this sector. But I don't know how long these coordinates are accurate. So we got to get there in, within 2 or 3 days. Well, then it's good that we get the new hyperdrive motivator installed. Yeah, indeed. So let's head to the docking bay and see that the mechanic gets his work done. And a little OOC, what I also forgot, the versatile rust bucket is pretty damaged. I'm only at 8 hull out of 20. So I sort of retconned it a little and said that we also agreed that he will fix our hull. However, that'll be 200 credits per point. I'm missing 12 hull points, so another 2,400 credits, and these are paid 1,400 credits by me and 1,000 credits by Rhya. And I paid 1,000 from my money for the modification of the hyperdrive, and the other 10,000, that is the money we got from the council for the last mission. So I didn't record this money anywhere on any character sheet. It'll be just in and out and pay for the hyperdrive motivator. All right, so the technician arrives and he gets to work, and of course I supervise the work a little and look over his shoulder, and also want to inspect the parts that he is about to install. Now the thing is, do I realize that these parts are, or this part is worn, and this would be a mechanics skill roll, but I do not have mechanics, so it'll be just my intelligence. And now I need to decide, let me, skills, intelligence skills, yeah, mechanics, repairing, upgrading, and modifying all types of equipment and machinery from personal blasters to hyperdrives. However, I don't have it. It's commonly used with intelligence, so I'm making an intelligence check, and I think I will roll 1, 2, 3. It is a moderate difficulty. 4, 5, 6, a difficult difficulty. It's also a difficult difficulty, which means I need 4 successes. Difficult, 4 successes. But I only roll 2 dice. So actually I do need exploding dice. Yeah, difficult for target number 4. Okay. Yes, look at this. 2 and 1 exploding die. So if I'm lucky, or however, I do need another 6. 3 successes. Damn. All right, so I inspect his work. I watch him closely. But sadly, I don't see anything wrong with the part or anything faulty. So the thing is now that I got a worn and used and somewhat broken, unreliable hyperdrive motivator, which does push my my hyperdrive multiplier down to times 1.5, but I do have a 20% chance per journey. You know what? Make it and my hull is repaired. Make it 15%. I don't want to make it too difficult. So I got a 15% chance per journey that the part breaks down, which would be really bad because then I'm stranded in hyperspace and would rely on a hyperdrive backup and maybe on outside help. So let's just hope that I'll get some light years out of this motivator. All right, so actually it's not such a big thing to install this. So let's move the story along. It takes 2-3 hours because they don't have to dismantle the entire hyperdrive. Just install the motivator, adjust some power linings and coolant lines, etc. So let's say it is 1700 hours when all repairs are complete. So the hull is repaired, and at this time also the droids are loaded. So at 1700 hours, just write this down here, record this in my journal. At 1700, everything is repaired, loaded, and ready for takeoff. Okay, So we take our seats. Rhya in the co-pilot seat. I'm in the pilot seat. And yeah, I just lean back and look at Rhya and go, she's all yours. And then I throw her a knowing smile and go, I know you can be gentle. So take her out. Yeah, and then I have a close eye on her and see if she gets all the procedures right. Always ready to, of course, intervene if the need should arise. And yeah, she handles herself well, and she takes us into orbit and heads towards the jump point. I have inserted, or I fed the data from the data card, the coordinates of the den into the Navi computer. And now let's see if there's anything happening on our way to the jump point. Since we're in a low security system, it is actually a 3 in 6 chance for a random encounter. 3 in 6 chance. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3. No, I rolled a 5. Lucky us. So even though there's some space traffic, and this is a rough and tumble planet, nobody is bothering us at the moment. And yeah, we make for the edge of the gravity well. So we are on Calcareous. We are on Calcareous, right? Yeah. Calcareous Prime, yes. So down here. And the coordinates where the den is supposed to be lead us to the edge of the Keldor asteroid belt. This is where this den is supposed to be. So there's not a known hyperspace route leading there, but we do have the coordinates. So let's check the rules again for unknown hyperdrive or hyperspace routes. Hyperspace travel. Yeah, all right. So calculating a course well established is easy. Okay. Calculating a completely new route requires a difficult target number 4 test and takes 10 minutes. However, this is an individual route. It is less likely you get intercepted in hyperspace, are longer, and in case of a miscalculation, the consequences can be dire. Okay, so it's a difficult number of target number 4. However, because we do have the coordinates, I say it is a target number 3. And it's intelligence plus computer systems operation, which is basically the and I got computer systems operation and intelligence, 3 dice, intelligence 2 and 1. So let's see if what did I say, target number 3. Whew. Okay, so 2 successes. I need 1 more success. Please. Oh, yes, and an exploding die. Great. So I don't need to roll this, but whew, because that would be a real shame if I blow up colliding with a mass shadow in hyperspace because of a miscalculated route. Yeah, so travel time. Travel time will be 2d6 hours, because it is like an unknown route, times 1.5 this time. 2d6 hours, 7 hours, 1.5, so that is 7.5, that is 3.5, so that'll be 10.5 hours if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm not mistaken, but let me just double check. Yeah, but that's all right. So I have, yeah, 10.5 hours. Okay. So, yeah, we're in hyperspace. And the calculations are indicating the travel time on the console. Oh, look, 10.5 hours. Actually, that is pretty fast. With my old hyperdrive, it would have taken a lot longer. And Rhya just goes, well, I guess that is the point if you spend 11,000 credits, that there's an improvement. Yeah, of course, you're right. So, but now let's see, please, does this motivator break down during the journey? It is a 15% chance. Please don't break down. Oh, you know my luck. 15% chance. I don't even want to lift the cup, but I have to. 87. And also this is like an oracle roll, so if I would have rolled a double, there would have been some sort of twist, but no. All right, so now a regular encounter roll. Usually it is 1 in 10 for 10 hours of travel on a known route, but we are on an unknown route. So I'll just say so there's nothing in here regarding random encounters in this thing. So my usually by the solo framework is for every starting 10 hours, it is a 1 in 10 chance. However, because I am on an unknown route, I'll only make it and this is the good thing about percentile dial. So 1 in 10 would be 10%, so let's make it 8%, just a little less. 8% that there's a random encounter. Okay, let me get this back here just in case. 8%. Doesn't count. No, 62. So we are flying through hyperspace, 10.5 hours. Everything looks calm. And the engine hums. And this mottled blue sky flies by the ship. There's no encounter. So as everything looks calm and we are flying for a couple of minutes, Rhya, she leans forward to me and comes close to my ear so that I can feel her breath on my skin and her warmth. And she goes, I wonder what we could do for 10.5 hours. Do you got any ideas? And as a matter of fact, I have. So I leave it to your imagination how we spend at least partial slot of this time. And then 10.5 hours later, we drop out of hyperspace in the blackness of space. And in front of us comes into view a structure. Let me get a picture ready here. A structure. Just 1 second. Ta-da! All right, so and I gotta lay this flat on the table because it's gotta be like this. Let me check the camera. Yeah, I think you should be able to see it. And now a little insert a little promotion here. So those of you maybe that remember the video I did on this RPG setting, the Wandering Tavern that was provided to me by the nice people or from the homie and the dude. And in this video, I said that it is entirely possible to reskin this Wandering Tavern into basically like a space opera sci-fi setting as well. And this is exactly what I did here. So the Wandering Tavern has become the Den, a traveling shadowport. And if you want to learn more about shadowports, I can highly recommend the West End Games source book Pirates and Privateers. I had this as a physical copy in the 90s. I sadly lost it, but I remember it vividly. So it describes the privateering business, how you could work as an alliance privateer with the letter of marque, and how all this works. And there's like also the section about how pirates operate, like interdiction in the space lanes with debris and lurking the jump point and all these kind of things. And there's also a section and a short description about shadowports, which are basically off the record, off the grid, criminal run, rough and tumble starports. And the Den is exactly one of these starports. So there's this structure in space that we approach. And oh yeah, and a little bit more promotion. If you want to pick up this setting, the Wandering Tavern, I will leave a link in the description. And if you use my code SOLO, all capitalized, you also get 10% off your purchase and you support the channel. And I will put this code also in the video description. So we approach this structure. So this outstretched structure right here, that is the docking area. So around this starport, there are some tramp freighters flying around, and I made a little drawing which is pretty ugly. I'm almost embarrassed to show it, but I will anyways. So this, let me see, can you see this? This ugly looking thing here is this outstretched structure. And what you don't see in the image, because I had to basically transfer this into space, because in the Wandering Tavern there are these sky ships called Zephyrs, which are of course in a planetary atmosphere, and they can just dock there like you would with a ship on a quay. But since we are in outer space, I needed to come up with something else, but I still wanted to keep this area as the dock. So these are docking tubes or docking hallways or tubes that stretch out from this section here. And you can see these are ships, so 6 ships can dock at every of these structures. There are 2 of them, so these are walkways. So a total of 12 ships can dock. So this the Den doesn't have a docking bay, at least not one available to the public. So actually you have to dock your ship there and then walk through the walkways into the structure of the Den to explore it. And and this is what we have to do. So as we approach the Den and as they have us on our scanners, we are also hailed. So we state our business that we want to dock, and they assign us a slot. However, since these docking slots are pretty precious and it is pretty expensive. So as we approach, I also make a quick scan of the structure, and I can detect at least 12 turbo laser batteries that are also scattered across the structure. So the structure also has means of defending itself. So we get assigned one of these docking tubes, but they also want to deduct a hefty docking fee of 250 credits per 24 hours. So let's make it 500 credits for 24 hours, which is a lot. And but Rhya this time, because she goes, well, let me cover this time. We are a crew now. So she covers it. So she's got 5,500 left of her personal money. Can't use the council fund money for that. And oh yeah, and but Nash, I got 2,000 in advance, but we also split. So I got 2,300 now, and Rhya, she gets another 1,000. Now she's at 6,500, and we are still owed 5,000. So let me write this down here real quick. Got paid 2,000 in advance and 5,000 still owed on delivery. It's because I almost forgot, so I didn't even wrote this down. Delivery. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we dock. So Rhya, she pays 24 hours, and let's see how much what time it is now. Galactic Standard Universal Standard Time doesn't matter, just so that I get. So it is 1,300 hours as we dock. So by 1,300 hours the next day, we would have to pay another 500 if we want to stay, if there is still room available. Maybe they have like a queue or something. All right, so we dock at 1,300 hours. At 1,300. So time is ticking. All right, so as we dock, I go, wow, look at the size of that thing. This is really impressive. But oh, see, this is of course not as big as the Death Star. So I figured this is maybe from here to there. It maybe has the length of an Imperial Star Destroyer, so about 1,600 meters. And maybe it is, I don't know, 600 meters or so across. So it is pretty big, but not. We are not talking orbital defense platform or Death Star big. But it's big. It's impressive. Damn, I've never heard of this den. I'm eager to explore it, but it's probably a rough and tumble place. Yeah, I can understand your desire to explore it, but we should focus on the mission at hand. Didn't your contact say something about that you should contact this Toola and see if or when she will arrive? Maybe she's already here. Yeah, you're right. Business first, pleasure second. So let me check. So I use the COM code and hail this COM frequency out of hope if there's a response. And indeed there is a female voice, Twi'lek voice. So she speaks basic with an accent. And so I'm Nash Duncan. I got your package. Slim sent me. Oh, you're already here. That's great. Well, I'm not. I'll still need a couple of hours. I'm a couple of light years out. And so OOC, I reread this communication thing. So like I said, these ships, they have subspace transceivers which allow for like audio communication almost in real time over several light years, maybe even several hundred light years, depending on size of the ship. And I figured you could also route your personal communicator, of course, into your ship's com system. And so if I, like when I use this frequency and I use my subspace transceiver in my ship to boost the frequency, she will also, if she's in her ship, detect it. So long story short, I don't want to make a big deal out of if you're able to reach someone if it's not important for the story. So yeah, just like a little explanation. So yeah, she says, yeah, I still need a couple of hours. I'll be there by 2000 hours tonight, 8 p.m. So why don't you check out the flying rum barrel bar. Oh, what's the flying rum barrel bar? Yeah, it's a nice watering hole on the den. Maybe you find it interesting. Or just take your time, if you haven't been to the den before, to explore it. It is a rather unique experience, but don't get into trouble with the Keldor militia. Keldor militia, is that the security on this place? Yeah. This place is run by Belgo Keldor, a Hutt clan lord of the Keldor clan. And the Keldor militia are his henchmen, his enforcers. He basically runs the place. He's also got a nice residence in the upper deck section of the den. So you probably haven't been here if you don't know that. No, but now I've learned something new. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so yeah, we dock, we take the walkway and enter this docking area. So now let's get the PDF out to describe this area to you. And I go to talk to Rhya and go, have you heard? What was this bar called? The Flying Rum Barrel Bar. Maybe there's some contacts there that maybe we can pick up a follow-up job when we're done here. This looks interesting. Right, so we're in the upper levels, page 41. Let me see, this is the dock, exactly. Okay, so this is the dock. So of course this is like this fantasy illustration, but like this is basically this outstretched structure, and here imagine are the docking tubes. So, and we enter and then we are guided through this hallway into this more open plaza. And if you get this digital package, you also get a couple of layered digital maps. You can see here digital maps layers 4 to 13, color coded. Purple would be the dock area, but I will just reskin this on the fly to fit with a space opera setting. Yeah, okay, so we enter, and this is a larger plaza, and there's some small vendor stands there and a couple of people, and I can already make out two people of the militia in classic Hutt fashion. It is a Gamorrean and a Trandoshan. They wear a distinctive padded vest or blast vest on their upper body. So that is like the only piece of uniform that I can make out. So it is a color coded, and it features a symbol blast vest. And so they are clearly recognizable as some sort of official militia, obviously. And they keep an eye on the docks, and they eye the newcomers suspiciously. And as we enter or approach, of course, Rhya catches their interest because, of her graceful statue. She has, of course, now her hood pulled deep into her face so that her ears are covered and that you can't really see her glowing eyes. But she still raises their attention. So let's see if we are maybe bothered or addressed. It's a 70% chance. 70%, 40, of course we are. So yeah, we approach this area. Let me get a quick drawing here. Wrong pen. Here, the broad one. Okay, so this was the, like, and this opened up then in this larger area. Oh, this is pretty dried out. Let me get the blue one, doesn't matter. So like this larger area, and there's like some vendor stands here. And those militia guys, they're at one of these vendor stands eyeing this portion. So we walk up enter this area, this hall, as they look at us. And then this Trandoshan looks at the Gamorrean and makes a gesture with his head, motions towards us as they approach us. Hey, and the Trandoshan is doing the talking. He goes, "New arrivals, huh? So, what's it with this hooded cloak?" He addresses Rhya. "Come on, you're probably not that ugly, judging from the way you move. Why don't you show us your pretty face? We need to see if maybe you are wanted. Maybe there's a bounty on your head." And Rhya, she slowly raises her head, and because we don't want to make a fuss now, it would be one of these things that are where the Jedi mind trick would come in handy. So Rhya, I'm using the simple Force rules, the more abstract simple rules. So she's got 2 power points that regenerate when she rests. So she just slowly looks up, and while she slowly looks up underneath her hood, she makes this obviously distinctive gesture, maybe that you need to make when you do a Jedi mind trick. I don't know, but it's cinematic. And she just goes in her silent voice, "I am not wanted. You don't need to see my face." And that will be a cunning, and she gets a +2 bonus because she used the Force, so she can add. She doesn't have a skill like persuasion or anything, so it'll be 5 dice, and it'll be a target number of 3. 5 dice, target number 3. Ah, look at this. 0 failures, all successes with 1 exploding die even. Okay, so she goes, "I'm not wanted. You don't need to see my face. You do not find me attractive." And he goes, "Well, on second thought, I think you're not wanted. You're probably not even that attractive. I don't need to see your face." And the Gamorrean, he goes, because Gamorreans, they can't speak basic but understand, he just goes towards the Trandoshan, and the Trandoshan goes, "I don't care what you think. I'm in charge here. I'm the squad leader. Come on, let's get back to our drink." And they leave us. And I look at Rhya and I go, interesting. That is actually pretty handy. Yes, it is, but we shouldn't stick around too long. The effect is not permanent. So he won't remember that he was affected, but he might find another interest in me again, and then we'll have to do it all over. Yeah, so then why don't we still stand here? Let's head for this bar, or any bar. Let's just look around. Okay, and then we quickly pass them and leave this area. All right, and looking at the time, this is where I will leave it for now, like setting up this exploration of this structure. Yeah, so I hope you had fun and enjoyed this episode, even though once again it didn't feature any combat, but I like playing out also these interaction scenes, like with the mission givers or these dialogues, because for me this is what adds flavor and helps me get into the mood and imagine the story. So I don't know if this is your cup of tea, but I hope you will still stick around for the ride as we explore the den, the flying or wandering shadowport, in our next episode to see what awaits. Until then, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful start into the weekend. And yeah, as always, stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.